Hello everyone, we are one of the group from poetry class consists of Adam Rufetes, Belianza and Bramantara, and right now we are going to present to you all about a poem that we've analyzed titled Dirge Without Music by Edna St. Vincent Millay. This is the poem that we have analyzed and I'm gonna read it for a while. Dirge Without Music by Edna St. Vincent Millay. I am not resigned to the shedding away of loving hearts in the hard ground. So it is, and so it will be, for so it has been, time out of mind. Into the darkness they go, the wise and the lovely. Crowned with lilies, and with laurel they go, but I am not resigned. Lovers and thinkers, into the earth with you. Be one with the dull, the indiscriminate dust. A fragment of what you felt, of what you knew. A formula, a phrase remains, but the best is lost. The answers quick and keen, the honest look, the laughter and the love, they are gone. They are gone to feed the roses. Elegant and curled is the blossoms, fragrant is the blossom. I know, but I do not approve. More precious was the light in your eyes than all the roses in the world. Down, down, down into the darkness of the grave. Gently they go, the beautiful, the tender, the kind. Quietly they go, the intelligent, the witty, the brave. I know, but I do not approve, and I am not resigned. And that's the poem. And now, the next one is I'm gonna start the poem analysis about each stanzas. And this is the first stanza. In the first stanza, the author is stating that most people will turn away and not accept the death of the loved ones. It is stated in the first line, I am not resigned to the shedding away of loving hearts in the hard ground. Next, for so it has been, time out of mind, into the darkness they go, the wise and the lovely. It is indicating that over time people will think less and eventually forget about them no matter how great and nice someone is. They will go to the darkness, even the author will. And she said, but I am not resigned. It strongly means that the author will also go to the darkness and died. The next one is the second stanza. In the second stanza, the author talks about the important people, symboled by lovers and thinkers in the stanza, will also meet their death and become one with earth. In line 6 of the second stanza, the author describes how someone becomes one with the indiscriminate dust, explaining the significance of how everyone is buried equally on the same ground and also as equal when decaying into the ground, turning to dust. And the next line, which are line 7 and 8, it signifies that the essence or achievements of what they did when they still alive is also lost and gone when they died. However, a formula, a phrase remains, also indicates that perhaps something about that person, whether they're saying or something that has been done by them, will remain in our minds and thoughts. Next one is the third stanza. Starting from the line 1 until the second line, we can already interpret that the author is saying that everything about a person, the honest look, the laughter, the love, will be gone when they died. Their decayed bodies will be fed to the roses. And from that, we can see that it seems like a positive metaphor, but the poet goes on saying that even though roses are beautiful, they mean nothing compared to the light in your eyes, which is a symbol of a person's soul. So in this, the poet insists that a dead body is not worth to be sacrificed with just mere roses. She just cannot accept that. And finally, the last stanza, which is the fourth stanza. And in this stanza, she once again explains that all kinds of people will meet their deaths and go down to the dark graveyard. It is shown in the first line, down, down, down into the darkness of the grave. Gently they go, the beautiful, the tender, the kind, and that explains that all kinds of people will meet their deaths, no matter how beautiful, how tender, how kind they are. And in the last line, there is a sentence, I know, but I do not approve, and I am not resigned. That means that she understands and knows it very well that every person, including her loved ones, must die someday, and she cannot stop that natural forces. However, she cannot accept death just like that without struggle, and perhaps she can only write her disapproval of death through this poem. And after all we've read the stanzas, we've came down to a conclusion about this poem. The conclusion is the author of this poem despises death. She feels that death is not really worth. All about that person will be gone once he or she died, even her loved ones. She even states death as if it's like her enemy. It shows that she cannot accept death easily. And that's all I can tell and show to you all about each stanza's analysis. And thank you so much for listening to the first part of this presentation. And there's still more parts that we have analyzed, and those will be explained by my partners, Berlianza and Adam de Freitas, after this.
Alright, so here I'm going to continue the presentation and I'm going to talk about the poetic devices found in the poem. Well, let's go with the first poetic device, which is rhyme. So the author uses A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, and G, H, G, H rhyme scheme. Let's go and see in the poem. Crown, crown, mind, resign, you, new, dust, lost, love, approve, court, word, grave, brave, kind, resign. Well, however, we can see here the dust and lost and then love and approve. They do not sound the same, but they are written in the same way, and they are still considered as rhyme, and we can call it a slang rhyme. Alright, so we need to go to the next one. After we have rhyme, we have meter. This poem is written in an iambic pentameter and falls into an appealing and easy to follow rhythm. So pentameter, penta means 5. So in one line, the author uses like 5 sets of unstressed and stressed words. Next is alteration. So alteration is a literary device in which some words are written the same in their first consonants, like hearts and heart, the same H's, lilies and laurer, same L, lovers and thinkers, the earth, honest look, lover and love, same L. However, you may see at the lovers and thinkers that the same consonant are not in the first word. I found it somewhere in the internet that alliteration also covers some words having the same consonant at the end of the word, like in lovers and thinkers. And yeah, they are usually arranged in the like continuing words like heart heart without indi, but it is still considered as alliteration if the words that are separated, the two same first consonant words, are preposition and article. So they are still okay with that. Alright, we can go to the next one. It is assonance. So if alliteration is about words having same consonant at the first word, assonance covers words which have the same vowel sound, like here, shutting, loving, ing, hearts and heart, or even though they are written in different letters, like hearts has EA, but heart has A, but they still sound the same. And then lovers and thinkers, the kick and kin, EE. Next is in German. Well, in German, in poetry means, moving over from one line to another line continually, but without any punctuation, like this one. Into the darkness they go, the wise and the lovely, crowned with lilies and with laurel they go, but I am not resigned. The word crowned here is actually still connected to the next words in the different line, which is with lilies, which are with lilies, and the author didn't put any punctuation, but she wants the reader to read it continually. And also, the other example is in line 10 and 11. They are gone to feed the roses. Elegant and cold is the blossom, fragrant is the blossom. I know, but I do not approve. So the words elegant and curled are still connected with the phrase in the next line, which is the blossom. Elegant and cold is blossom, but there is again no punctuation. And this is what we call in German. Next is personification. So personification is a figure of speech in which a non-human being is treated as a human being by using some words that are usually used by human being, like this one. Into the darkness they go, the wise and the lovely, crowned they go and crown. Those who are usually doing go and crowned are human beings, of course. But here, those words are used for the subject they, and they refers to the wise and the lovely, which are not human being. And then they are gone, the feed the roses, gone and feed, used for the subject they, and they refers to the honest look, the laughter, and the love in the previous line. Gently they go, and quietly they go. Um, the word is used for the subject they, but the they there refers to, in line 14, refers to the beautiful, the tender, and the kind, and then in line 15 refers to the intelligent, the witty, and the brave, which are all not human being. So they are considered as personification. Next is repetition. So repetition is a literary device that repeats the same words or phrase a few times to make an idea clearer or memorable for the reader. So, like this one. So it is, and so it will be, for so it has been, time out of mind. The word so it here are being repeated by the author to, to make it clear that so it is, and so it will be because so it has been, like that. The second example is from line 10. They are gone to feed the roses. They are gone, they are gone. They are gone there is being repeated because the author wanted to make it clear that they are gone. The next is um, I am not resigned and I do not approve. I am not resigned being repeated in line 1, 4, 16, and I do not approve in line 11 and 16. This is actually wanted to show that the author really want to emphasize this word, that she really means it. Next is simile. Simile is a figure of speech which is a comparison between one thing to another. But it is usually showing the similarity between one thing to another. But I read on a book that simile also covers comparison to show difference by using than. So here I found one: more precious was the light in your eyes than all the rest of the word. So the author used the word than to show that the light of the eyes here was more precise than all the rest of the words. So I guess that's all about the poetic devices, and the next thing will be presented by our friend Adam. Thank you.
Okay, let's go to the next explanation, which are symbol, meaning, and imagery. So here we are going to talk about the symbol, the meaning, and imagery that we have found in the Dirge Dirge without music poem. But before that, I believe that two of my friends, my group members and teammate already explained to you about the meaning of each stanzas and the poetic devices in this poem. And right now, we're going to talk about the symbol, meaning, and imagery in this poem. Let's go to the first topic, which is the symbol and meaning. We're going to look at the first stanza first. Take a look at this line. I'm not resigned to the shutting away of laughing hearts in the hard ground. No, we found two here. Laughing hearts and the hard ground. Laughing hearts means the person that the author loves so much, or the author's beloved one. It can be her parents, it can be her friends, it can be her lover. The main point is, it is the author important person. It's the dearest person for the author. Now, and we also have hard ground. Hard ground means the grave, which means that the author most dearest person buried in the grave. Grave represented by hard ground. Let's go to the next line. So it is, and so it will be, for so it has been, time out of mind. Now, time out of mind means a time in the past that was so long and people cannot remember about it. Now let's go to the next line. Here we have two lines. Into the darkness they go, the wise and lovely, crowned with lilies and with laurel, they go, but I'm not resigned. Let's take a look at the darkness here. The darkness here symbolizes the dead, which means that the author's beloved one died and go to the darkness or the dead. We also have the wise and lovely. The wise and lovely here represent the author's beloved one, crowned with lilies and with laurel. Now, both of these are flowers, but why the author used these flowers? Turns out that lilies is a flower that symbolizes the soul of the dead. The departed has received a restored innocence after death. And laurel flowers symbolize ambition and perseverance. So it means that the dead people's ambition and perseverance are stopped, laid down, or buried with him or her. So, as you can see, both of these flowers have a connection with death. That's why the author used these flowers. Let's go to the next part. Second stanza. In the second stanza, let's go to the first line here. Lovers and thinkers into the earth with you. Lovers and thinkers here means the dead people. Be one with the dawn, the indiscriminate dust. So indiscriminate dust here means everyone is same and equal when they died and buried in the same ground. Let's go to the next line. A formula, a phrase remains, but the best is lost. So a phrase remains here means that when people died, maybe their word, thought will be remembered by people. Let's go to the third stanza. The first line. They are gone. They are gone to feed the roses, elegant and curled. Roses here symbolize beauty and fragrance of the rose. The author compares the rose with the dead people. In this line, more precious was the light in your eyes than all the roses in the world. So the light in your eyes here symbolizes soul, the soul of the author's dead lover or friends. Now let's go to the fourth stanza. Gently they go, the beautiful, the tender, the kind. Quietly they go, the intelligent, the witty, the brave. So all of those words here, the beautiful, the tender, the kind, the intelligent, the witty, and the brave, means the dead people. Next line. I know, but I do not approve, and I'm not resigned. So this means that the author makes the dead as her enemy, will not accept her death. As we can see that I'm not resigned here, it means that the author makes the dead as her enemy and will never accept the theory of death or the reality of the dead. Now we arrive at the last explanation, the imagery. This is kind of short because we only found not too many imagery, but I'm going to try to explain it to you. So first stanza here, we found into the darkness they go, the wise and lovely, crowned with lilies and with laurel they go, but I'm not resigned. So we found crowned with lilies and with laurel. It's a visual imagery. Why? Because the altar saw the grave of her beloved one, full of lilies and flower and laurel. Next, we don't find any imagery in the second stanza. If we made a mistake, we're so sorry. But we tried our best, but still cannot find it. So we really apologize for that. So we just jump out to the third stanza. They are gone. They are gone to fit the roses. Elegant and curled is the blossom. Fragrant is the blossom. I know, but I do not approve. Elegant and curled is the blossom. This showed the visual imagery. The author saw that. Elegant and curled blossom. Fragrant is blossom. This is an olfactory imagery where you can smell the fragrant, where you can smell the blossom in the fragrant. Next line. More precious was the light in your eyes than all the roses in the world. The light in your eyes here is the visual imagery. The author sees the light in her beloved one, which is the soul of the author's beloved one. Now fourth stanza. Down, down, down into the darkness of the grave. This showed the use of visual imagery because the dead people go down, down, and down into the darkness of the grave. They see nothing. We have reached the end of the explanation about our poem, Dirge without music poem analysis. We are truly apologize if we made a mistake, and please, for other groups, if you have a comment, please don't hesitate to comment. We greatly appreciate your comment. Thank you, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.